Welcome to Idaho, the gem state, known for its natural beauty, gorgeous mountains, rivers and lakes, charming towns, and a very strong sense of community. But just like any place, Idaho is not a utopia. It definitely has its upsides and its downsides. So in this video, we are going to talk about the pros and cons of living here in Idaho. And please be sure to watch till the end, because if you're truly thinking about moving here, you are not going to want to miss the cons that we will be talking about at the end of the video. And by the way, first off, if this is your first time to our channel, let me quickly introduce myself. Hi, I'm Marcy Ellison. I'm a local resident and real estate agent here with the Ellison Realty Group. This channel is all about relocating to Idaho. So if that's something that you're interested in, please take a quick sec to subscribe to our channel. And thank you for doing so, as it really truly helps us and we appreciate your support. First, let's dive into the pros of living in Idaho. One of the biggest advantages of being an Idahoan is our state's stunning natural beauty. Idaho is famous for its gorgeous landscapes, with just extraordinary landmarks like the majestic Sawtooth Mountains, Shoshone Falls, endless lakes, and beautiful rivers. Idaho offers a pretty ideal landscape for outdoor enthusiasts. Whether you enjoy hiking, biking, boating, mountain climbing, or simply taking in the beauty of the changing seasons, because yep, living in Idaho will mean you get to experience all four of them in glory. Idaho really has it all. Another great aspect of living in Idaho is its strong sense of community. Whether you live in a small town like Sandpoint or Marsing, or in a larger city like Boise or Meridian, you'll often find a tight-knit community that values connections and local support. Neighbors come together for events, festivals, and local initiatives, which really helps to create a warm and welcoming environment. It's not uncommon to see community gatherings, farmers markets, and local fairs where you can meet new people, connect, and really build lifelong relationships. Idaho is also known and praised for having a consistently low crime rate. Compared to the majority of other states that make up our great nation, Idaho consistently ranks among the safest places to live in the U.S. And this is true both in Idaho's rural areas and in its larger, more urbanized cities, such as Meridian, Coeur d'Alene, and Eagle. So this, of course, provides residents with peace of mind and a solid sense of security for themselves and their families. Whether you're walking alone at night or jogging first thing in the morning, or raising children, or maybe you're a retiree who just isn't up for the stress of living in an area riddled with crime. Our low crime rate here in Idaho is undeniably a significant advantage to calling Idaho home. Now, get ready for a big financial perk, and this will certainly impact you if you plan on buying a home here in Idaho. Idaho's property tax rates are among the lowest in the nation. On average, property taxes in Idaho are significantly lower than other states such as New Jersey, Illinois, Connecticut, or Texas, which all of have some of the highest property taxes in the country. Lower property taxes, of course, reduces the overall cost of home ownership, making it easier and more affordable to own a home.
Cheers to that.
Now, let's talk about Idaho's economy and job market, and both of these oftentimes surprise people who are eyeballing Idaho as a possible relocation destination to here. But yes, Idaho has a strong and growing job market, particularly in sectors like technology, manufacturing, tourism, and agriculture. And in Boise's Treasure Valley specifically, it's got an incredible and ever-growing tech hub. And then across the state, our economy is really flourishing. And for what it's worth, and this certainly helped us as Idahoans at the time, Idaho was widely touted as being one of the fastest states to recover following the COVID pandemic. So depending on where you're considering moving here from, chances are our experience here in Idaho during the insanity that was 2020 to 2022 was pretty darn different from what you likely experienced and went through during that time. Now, let's switch gears and talk about the cons of living in Idaho. While it may have its charms, no place is perfect, right? But actually, first, before I move on, I want to let you know that we have a completely free, no strings attached, Moving to Idaho relocation guide that you can download and peruse through at your leisure. To get your, again, completely free, no obligation copy of this info-packed guide, just click on the link in the description of this video to download it. And then if you appreciate it, do me a quick favor and just hit the little like button. I know it's really small, but it really helps us out. So thank you for doing that. You know, one of the biggest challenges of living in Idaho is undoubtedly the harsher winters that we see in some areas of the state. Up in North Idaho, they see heavy snowfall and freezing temperatures, which can, of course, be a real hassle for daily life. Shoveling snow, dealing with icy roads, and just enduring the long winter months can be quite taxing. However, for those of you who enjoy winter sports, maybe you're a big skier or snowboarder, it can also be a pretty magical time of year. And I'm going to hit pause here very quickly to remind you just how long the state of Idaho is. For whatever reason, most don't typically remember Idaho as being as big and long of a state as it really is. But, well, did you know that Idaho is actually among the largest states in the country? It stretches over 470 miles north to south. And, well, this sprawl means that we see a lot of diversity across the state, and that includes both geography and landscape-wise and weather-wise. So, with all that said, please know that the winters experienced up in the northern tip of Idaho, so up by Sandpoint and Coeur d'Alene, well, their winters are significantly different and albeit harsher and colder than what we experience down in the southern area of Idaho, where Idaho's capital city of Boise is located, as well as all of Boise's surrounding metro cities such as Meridian, Eagle, and Nampa. Another drawback about living in Idaho is that really across the board, or rather the state, Idaho lacks the extensive cultural amenities that they've got in a lot of our country's other bigger cities. Museums, theaters, and nightlife are definitely more limited, and that's especially true if you are looking outside of the Boise metro area.
What do you like to do?
Now, while I talked about our strong economy and growing job opportunities, depending on where you're considering moving to across the state of Idaho, and especially if you're hoping to move to a more rural area and you're hoping to find a job in finance, media, or entertainment, well, you could be in for a challenge because outside of the metro area, the state of Idaho has fewer jobs in those sectors than many other states. However, if you'll be commuting to a nearby state for a job that falls into this category, living in one of the cities across Idaho with access to a decently sized airport so you can commute is an option. And this is something that we are increasingly seeing more and more people embrace. So I would definitely make sure to do your research to determine if where you're planning on moving in Idaho has the demand to support your current employment and/or future career path and goals. Next, when it comes to home prices, Idaho has seen a huge uptick in our average home price, and that's really true at both the urban level and at the rural level too. While Idaho was once known for having incredibly affordable housing, the influx of new residents, especially from other states such as California, Washington, and Arizona, has driven up our home prices. And this is being felt in cities and towns across the state, but particularly the hardest in Idaho's most popular cities for relocators anyhow, like Boise and Coeur d'Alene. Lastly, and this one is going to either be a pro or a potential con for you depending entirely on your take and political affiliation and or sway. Please know that Idaho is a very strongly conservative and red state. So if you prefer a more liberal and progressive leaning environment, and if seeing homes as well as vehicles and of course jacked up trucks flying Trump banners, signs, and flags, if that is going to irk you, well, then Idaho might just not be your cup of tea. So I should also point out here that there are now some areas across Idaho that are more purple and some that are even blue. But that said, as a whole, Idaho is very strongly Republican and very red. So all in all, Idaho is a great choice for those who value outdoor living and a more laid-back lifestyle, particularly if you're drawn to areas with strong community vibes and natural beauty. However, if you're seeking a wide variety of diverse cultural activities, consistent and more mundane, I would say, weather patterns, or if you work in a niche professional field, well, Idaho's more limited options there might present you with some challenges. So where are you at? After watching this, what is your take on Idaho? I truly want to hear from you. So please take a quick sec to post a comment or throw out a question below, and or if, well, nothing comes to mind, but you found this video helpful, please consider hitting that little like and the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.